I'm 72 years old. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. At the age of 17, I immigrated to Israel. I already decided when I was 14 or 15, this is where I wanted to live my life, that this is where I could express myself as a Jew, that I could be part of helping the state of Israel be a better place to live and contribute to the life here. I decided I wanted to study social work because this was the profession that I felt that I could make the greatest contribution to the state of Israel. I became a specialist in psychiatric social work. I worked as a social worker in a mental hospital. I helped create a center for the rehabilitation of mental patients also in Jerusalem. I was already teaching at the Hebrew University at the School of Social Work, and then I decided that the best place to influence the social welfare situation in Israel was not at the university, but I struck a deal with the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee, which in 1976 was opening an office in Jerusalem. It had been here in Israel since 1914. They just celebrated their 100th anniversary, and I came on as a senior professional, and I remained at the Joint Distribution in Israel for 34 years, out of which 30 I served as the deputy director. I was involved in helping create many services for the elderly, services for the disadvantaged, for those suffering from disabilities, from children at risk. In the early 1980s, the Joint wanted me to start traveling to Europe. I worked in France, helping create a cadre of community organizers to work with the Jewish community. And then in 1986-87, I was the international social welfare consultant of the Joint, working in North Africa, Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, in France, in many places. And then in 1987, I became the director of the Joint in Romania, and I remained the director there for 18 years. I worked during communist times there, which was a whole effort and challenge of its own. And then I worked with the community through the transition from communism to democracy, helping rebuild the community, helping create programs for youth, for new leadership, and to help them transition this very difficult period. In 2006, I became the director of the JDC programs in North Africa and Asia. So I worked intensively in Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Turkey, India, and Ethiopia with wonderful colleagues, social workers and others, to go ahead and improve those programs as well. So I've been very fortunate in my life. I've been able to contribute to the state of Israel, to have a major impact on training programs for social workers in all areas, to impact the social welfare services and health services throughout the country, and also to do that in Africa and Asia and Eastern Europe and the countries I just noted. I became a volunteer, or in French, a bénévole. From 2010 until this day, I've been serving as a senior consultant to the Joint, and I'm serving as the acting director of the Taub Center for Social Policy Studies in Israel, which is a think tank devoted to gathering evidence-based data in the areas of poverty, health, education, welfare, cost of living, many areas to help the decision makers of Israel do a better job and do the best job that they can. This has been wonderful for me, but it's also been wonderful for